help it. Okay, so okay. So now let me show you examples. Okay, let me show you examples. Like right now, why is the market moving up? Breakout structure bullish. Can you see that? This right
Yeah.
here, this drop right here was only a retracement into where? Into the strong low that was created on the 4-hour time frame. Look at this top hunt, breakout structure, strong low. How do we know the low has created the high of the range? Bearish breakout. Can you see that? After you
Yeah.
get this bearish breakout, you know that a range was created from here to here.
Yeah.
Then you know why it is coming down. Why? That is to take out the internal range liquidity, the swing lows. Okay. So within a lower time frame range, what do you look for? Higher time frame point of interest. So on this 4-hour strong low, what's the higher time frame point of interest you had? On the monthly, you had a rejection block.
Yeah.
See that? There we go. You had a rejection block on the monthly. So where did price come into? Came down, took out the internal range liquidity, tapped into the monthly rejection block. Now it is moving up. So now what are we going to do? We're going to buy it until this high gets taken out. Can you understand that? That is what I'm
Yeah.
expecting currently. We're going to buy it until this high gets taken out. Okay, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Okay. But then again, are you going to wait until they clear out the internal range liquidity and for all that shit to happen? Who knows how long it's going to take, right? No. Once you
Yeah.
identify this breakout structure, once you see this breakout structure, you know that, okay, the 4-hour has confirmed the sells, right? Into these areas. Now, with every single London Open or is with Asia, what are you going to do? You're going to sell it. See that? You're going to sell it like that. Sell it, sell it, sell it. But once we get here, we're not going to look for sells anymore. Why? Internal taken out. We are on a strong low that was created on the 4-hour time frame inside of a monthly point of interest. That is when we start looking for buys. Okay, so like that. Can you understand that? Okay, I'll show you more
Yeah.
ranges. Okay, I'll show you more ranges. Like you understand that, right? I hope it is clear. Okay, so look at this one. Even this one. See, stop hunt, breakout structure, strong low. How do we know the high was created? After this breakout structure. See that? Break,
Yeah.
low of the range, high of the range. Maybe this was the internal range liquid that was taken out, and boom, goes into the external range liquidity. Yeah, same exact thing. Okay, so the only thing you have to do is understand the ranges. So let me show you a very clear example of a range. Yeah, let's go to daily. Okay, let's talk about the previous, not the previous one, the one before the previous one, the range we had. Okay, look at this. First thing, what did I tell you to identify the major direction? What do? We focus on the major breakout structure, right? So what's the major breakout
Yeah.
structure we have here? Bearish.
Bearish.
And even in here, bear, like, then what should we mark out? A bullish range or is a bearish range? Obviously the bullish range, right? I'm sorry, a
Yeah.
bearish range, right? Not a bullish range. Because why? The market is bearish. Why would you mark out a bullish range? Can you understand that? We mark out a bearish range. So I told you, where will a range start from? From a strong high or is a strong low. So where is the next daily strong high? In here. Why? Liquidity taken out from two equal highs and
Yeah.
structure broken. Can you see that? Strong high.
Yeah.
How do we know the high has created the low of the range? We have to get a bullish breakout on the same time frame. I told that to you, right? So
Yeah.
here we have it. See that? High of the range, low of the range. Okay. Now I'll tell you why I told you to wait for the bullish break on the same time frame itself. Okay, we had a nice example somewhere around here. Where was it? I think it was, yeah, must be somewhere around here. Yeah, I think it was here. Okay, let's see. Now look at this. Now, okay, let's say price was here. Now, can I mark this out as the low of the range? No, right? That is wrong. Because
No.
why? We did not get the bullish breakout yet. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so let's see. Now, can you see that? Let me make the
We
line
have a
straight because,
break.
yeah, these lines are making me so uncomfortable. Give me a second. Okay, there you go. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a break.
Yeah.
But are you gonna trust that bullish break? No, because the daily is still bearish. Can you understand that? The daily is still
Yeah.
bearish. But now what will everyone do? Everyone will tell you, oh, there we go. Stop hunt, breakout structure, strong low. Maybe this is some internal range liquid. Let's buy it here. Okay, what happens? What happens if you want to buy it here? Not even a reaction. Not even a reaction from that support. Because why? Now, when everyone else is trying to look at it in a bearish way, now how are we going to look at? Now, how are we going to look at it? I'll show you. Now, when everyone else is trying to look for a bullish range, since we know that still the daily is bearish, we're going to look at a bearish range itself. Now, what is the major breakout structure we have here? Bearish, right?
Bearish.
Major breakout structure bearish. Counter trend is also bearish. Can you see that break?
Yeah.
So then I told you, when the market is bearish, are we going to look for strong lows? No, we're going to look for strong
No.
highs, because the strong low is not going to hold. The strong high is the one that is going to hold. Can you understand that? So your next
Yeah.
zone of interest is not here. Your next zone of interest is up here, order block and the rejection block. Can you understand that? So what happens? There it goes inside of it. This is when you are interested in taking sells. So I was waiting for this rejection block to pay out, honestly, because I missed it. See that? Came very closer to it. And where is
Yeah.
your final target? All the way down here, right? What happened?
External range.
See that? Now, did you see what happened? That's why I told you, wait for those breaks on the same time frame. Okay, but look at this one. Once the daily turned bullish in here, there we get the confirmation that the daily wants to go higher. Can you understand that? Then we
Yeah.
get the confirmation that the daily wants to go higher. Now we can mark out 4 hour bullish ranges, because why? Daily has already confirmed the bullishness, right? Daily has also confirmed the bullishness. So how can we buy this thing now? Once again, just that simple logic I told you about. High highs, high lows, high highs. What will everyone expect? High low, high high. What
Yeah.
are we expecting? A manipulation of this low, right? Now, just because right below this we have an imbalance, are we going to use that without checking the higher time frames? No. Let's go to the daily. What do we have on the daily? Right below this, we have the order block. As a resistance broken, it turns into support. See that? We have that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some liquidity right here. So what happens? Look at this. Okay, wait. There it goes. Can you see the reaction?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? Do you think anyone will have an idea where it's coming from? No idea,
No.
right? Look at that. Taps, and there it goes. Flies. Can you understand that? Okay, so that's why I told you to wait for those breaks on the same time frame. Now you get it, right? Now you get it. Now,
Yeah.
the reason why I told you that, now you see the reason why. Okay, so now I'll show you more trades. Okay, now look at this. What did I tell you? Within a lower time frame range, what should we look for? A higher time frame point of interest, right? Now, daily range,
Yeah.
let's go to the weekly. What do we have on the weekly, on the daily strong high? A resistance, right? Can you see that? A resistance or
Yeah.
else a rejection block. Okay, so we have the rejection block. So now what can we do? Now, since this is a daily range, what time frame can we use for breaks? I told you we can use one time frame lower, right? I told that to you. So now we can use a
Yeah.
4 hour time frame. Now, can you see what the 4 hour did? The 4 hour got into this point of interest. Okay, the 4 hour did get into this zone of interest. Now, in here, are you gonna take this as a breakout structure? No, that's wrong.
No.
Okay, so wait. So now what happened? The 4 hour has tapped into the weekly point of interest, and the 4 hour did a stop hunt and gave us what? A major breakout structure. After tapping into a weekly zone, now what do you know? Daily is bearish, which means the major breakout structure is bearish. The counter trend has also turned bearish. Can you see it?
Bearish.
So what is it? The range expansion. It is the range expansion, right? Are you going to buy it anymore? No.
No.
With every single time it goes up, you're looking for sells. Okay, you are looking for sells. That is what you could do. Okay, so in here, of course, like after this bearish breakout structure, I was still looking for sells, but yeah, we did get some buy moves in here. Okay, we did get some buy moves in here, but now I did get stopped out in here. Okay, with this news candle, because I'll show you. I thought that, because the thing is, in hindsight, I can explain everything to you, right? Because it has already gone. It's already played out. Okay, but when you're looking at it in real time, nobody knows what's gonna happen exactly, right? So this is
Yeah.
what I thought. I thought, okay, maybe this is the strong high. See there? Liquidity taken, structure broken. Okay, I thought this was the strong high. This was the internal range liquidity, and no higher time frame price. I think it was a H1. Yeah, on the H1 we had a resistance. See that? So even for the losing trades, can you see I'm taking the same, I'm trading the same exact setup. Okay, nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Okay, so I tried to sell it here, and you can see this candle, right? Trade through it. News. Okay, so stopped out. Stopped out. Then I quickly realized, okay, after this bullish break of structure, we have a range on the 4-hour that is from up here to down here. So actually, what did they do? Do not let these bullish breaks fool you, because we have already gotten this bearish break on the daily and a major break on the 4-hour. So this move to the upside was what? It was only to take out the internal range liquidity of this range from here to here. Can you understand that? Don't let the bullish breaks fool you, like I told you. Okay. And on this 4-hour strong high, what do you look for? A daily zone of interest, right? Why? Because if it's a lower time frame strong high, we look for the higher time frame point of interest. Let's go to the daily. What do we have? Another resistance, right? Another resistance, or is another rejection block. Can you see that? Another one.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, once again, I took another loss in here. Okay, because I'll have to be transparent, like I told you. I took another loss in here because I sold it from this daily zone right away with a 5 pip stop loss. Boom. Okay, so stopped up. That happens. Can't help it. Okay, so then I thought, okay, took a loss in here, another loss in here. No more trading that day. Okay, I'll wait for confirmations. Let's see, because I can be wrong too, right? I can be wrong too. So
Yeah.
I'll have to accept that and then wait. Okay, so yeah, 2 straight losses. Had to stay out. Okay, so now I'm waiting for a confirmation. What's the confirmation we want to see? Inside of the zone of interest, we want to see a breakout structure, right? On a lower time frame.
Yeah.
Okay, on a lower time frame. So let's go to the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, of course, there are no swing points to be seen for us to get the confirmation entry. Can you see that? No swing points
Yeah.
on the 1-hour time frame. So then let's go to 30 minutes. Let's check one time frame lower. I think it was on the 30 minute, if I remember. Yeah, on the 30 minute. What do we have? What do we have on the 30 minute? We have a swing low. So now, if this breaks, we get the confirmation of the daily range. If not, it'll just keep on going higher maybe. Okay, so let's wait. Yeah, I sold it here and another loss. Okay, let's see. There we get the break. Can you see that? Break.
Yeah.
So now what has the 30 minute done? It has created a strong high inside of a daily zone of interest. Top fund breakout structure strong high. Can you see it? Once again, what did I tell you? When a lower time frame strong high is created, where will your focus go into? Higher time frames, right?
Higher time frame.
Let's go to the H1. Oh, but the H1 has too many POIs. We have an imbalance. We have an order block. We have a resistance or as a rejection block. 3. What are you going to do? Go to another higher time frame. The guesswork is over there. Okay, what do we have? Rejection block. You see the importance of the higher time frames, right? We had a resistance.
Yeah.
Okay. And what made that resistance a high quality zone is the Asian highest liquidity. I told you, this is when Asia comes into play. I told you, right? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now, you know that daily is what? Bearish. 4-hour is what? Bearish.
Bearish.
30 minute is what? Bearish. So do you have any reason to buy this now? No.
No.
Obviously not, right? So let's look for sell. So this day, for some reason, London did not play the setup. Okay, London did not play the setup. But even though London did not play the setup, I took it with New York session. See, 11:30, 12:30. I was expecting London to play the setup, but this happened. Failed. See that? Failed to tap into it. So had to patiently wait. Then it started going up once again. And what it did was it created equal highs below our point of interest. Can you see it? Equal highs right below the daily, like 4-hour zone of interest. Then took a sell in here. Where is my first target? Asian low.
Asian low.
But yeah, now this is the thing. Now you saw how quick the moves were when the time was right? You saw that. You saw how quick the moves were. Now look how slow this setup was, because why? Time isn't right. Look at the time. It's like 7 p.m. my time, our time. So not right. Time is not good. Yeah, see that? 7 p.m. So look how slow the setup is. Yeah. Took a while, but yeah, eventually it comes into the targets. Can you understand that setup? You understand the setup, right? Hope it's clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Then what do? Pay yourself down at the Asia. Make sure you always pay yourself. Okay, because we're intraday traders, right? We must pay ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Pay ourselves and then leave the rest into the 4-hour external range liquidity. Can you understand that? Into the 4-hour external range liquidity, because 4-hour internal range liquidity is now taken out in here. So now they will come back down for the 4-hour external range liquidity, right? It come back down for the 4-hour external range liquidity. Okay, leave it out like that. And then once again, you can see that we have a major breakout structure that is bearish in here. Can you see that? Okay, so then again, above Asia, what did we have? Let's check. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Above Asia, we had a rejection block in here. Can you see that? See that? Right above Asia, we had a rejection block in here. But if you go to the daily resistance is here. Can you see that? We had a daily resistance in here. So what would you choose? Daily or the 4-hour?
Daily.
Daily. Okay, yeah, we're going to choose the daily. Okay, and then, yeah, I did a slight refinement of this into some imbalance. Ah, yeah, there we go. Doing a slight refinement of this daily zone into the 1-hour imbalance. Can you see it? A slight refinement of it into the 1-hour imbalance. And what makes that level the high quality level is what? Asian highest liquidity. See, now we have the classic setup in play. Asia. Okay, ranges are clear. Timing 11:30, 12:30. Can you see, like, we're doing the same thing again and again? Okay.
Yeah.
Sell it like this. Okay, we're going to sell it like this. And then where will we place our stop loss? Around 5 pips. Where is our first target? Asian low. Now look at the difference between these two setups. You saw how long this took. For this setup to come from here down into the Asian lows, it took almost 12 hours. Because why? Timing wasn't good, right? But look at this one.
Yeah.
When time is right, 11:30. Right at 11:30. Can you see that? Right at 11:30. A manipulation of Asia. Then what happens? Done. See, when the time is right, that is how quick the setups are. That is how quick the setups are. You're done. Okay, so then what do? Pay yourself down at the Asian low. Leave the rest into the external range liquidity. Can you understand that? I told you. I told you what to do with every Asian. Okay, so Asia, sell. Like, see, this is the same exact thing. Asia, sell. Asia, sell. Okay, we're going to continue. We're going to continue with this. Okay, so let's wait now. Melting. Now, another thing. Now, do you stress about marking out order blocks or anything in here? No, we don't care about this side anymore. We only care about this side. Now you see that, right? Now you see this. Okay, we don't stress about this side. Why should we, right? The market is bearish. Why should we look for buys? But most people will tell you, oh, look at that. That's a strong one. Because why? Look at the move after it. That's a strong order block, right? With a huge imbalance. Who cares, right? This is not going to hold. Anyway, because the market is bearish. Okay, so let's wait. Now you see that, right? So those are wrong, actually. Very wrong. Okay, because you can't do that way. Okay, so let's wait now. Once again, it runs into Asia. Oh, I think we had no setup this day because Asia created a strong high. Can you see that? Stop hunt, breakout structure. So where will our focus go into? 4-hour. What do we have on the 4-hour? I told you, order block or as a rejection block. I told you, right? It happens all the time. Order block or as a rejection block will be created. Sometimes only a rejection block, but sometimes both of them. But yeah, you know what to do when there are both of them. So there we go. Now, same exact thing. At what time of the day are we expecting price to get here? 11:30 or else 12:30. Okay, so 11:30 or 12:30. No, it did not get here. But just because London opened here, am I going to buy it? No. I told you, right? This setup right here is a good setup to go with only when the market is what? Bullish, not bearish. Now, all the time frames are bearish. Am I just going to randomly buy it with London? No, that's suicide because London will somehow continue down. See that? You see what happened? Okay, so you understand that, right? So you have to be flexible. Just because I told you if it runs below Asia, you have to buy it. You're not going to do that when the market is bearish. Okay, so understand that. Okay, so no trades this day. Let's wait. Because if the setup isn't clear, there's no point of forcing it, right? No point of doing that. Okay, so just wait. Just wait. Okay. Once again, it runs into Asia. Okay, so let's see how we could have taken a trade this day. Okay, what has Asia done? Asia has created a strong high.
Strong high.
Liquidity taken. That same exact setup. Breakout structure. Now you know where everyone else will sell it from, right? When it goes up. The order block that broke structure. The supply that broke structure. The trend lines from here. Are we going to do this? No.
No.
We know what is this? This is internal range liquidity. And above it, what do we have? A resistance. See that? A resistance.
Yeah.
Okay, then what we could do is sell it. Okay, we can sell it. Stop loss where? Above the strong high. 4 pips. Where do we target? For our external range liquid, because oh, this was a very unfortunate trade. I remember. Let me show you. we target the 4 hour external range liquidity, right? Because it was very close to it. I think this was a break even. Let's see. Yeah, look at the reaction. Tapped right into the point of interest. Dropped. Can you see that? Dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, but I moved it to break even, and then yeah, this happened. This happened. Okay, so break even. Didn't even pay myself. Okay, so break even. So yeah, so fuck it and then let it go. Okay, can't help it. Can't help it. Okay, but remember, don't let these little 30-minute breaks fool you. Okay, do not let them fool you, because like 30-minute or these lower time frames are not the ones that are used for direction, right? What are the time frames we use
Yeah.
for direction? Daily, weekly, and monthly mainly. But right now we use the daily and a 4 hour, right? The daily is bearish,
Yeah.
4 hour bearish, 30-minute bearish. So do not let the bullish moves fool you. They're only going up to collect some buy stops or something, right? To fuel the move once again to the downside. So before that, they have to take some buy stops, right? They have to take some buy stops. So let's see where they're going to stop at. Where are they going to stop this at? At a strong high, right? They stop this at a
Yeah.
strong high. So once again, on the 1 hour time frame, what do we have here? A strong high. Stop hunt, breakout structure,
Breakout structure.
high of the range. How do we know the high has created the low of the range? Bullish breakout structure. See that? Then high of the
Yeah.
range, low of the range. Why are they moving up? That is to take out the internal range liquidity. What's the internal range liquidity? Swing highs, swing highs. Can you understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
So within a lower time frame range, what do we look for? A higher time frame point of interest. Okay. So let's go to the daily. What did we have? We had a rejection block in here, daily rejection block in here. But the thing is, like 4 pips away from the daily rejection block, we had a 4 hour rejection block as well. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So now they're very close to each other, right? So what can you do? Wait for reaction from the bottom one, snipe it from the top one. Can you understand that? Snipe it from the top
Yeah.
one. Okay. So now let's wait. Let's wait once again. We know that now they're moving up to take out this internal range liquidity or something. So let's patiently wait for this day. Okay. There we go. Asia. Is the Asian low a strong low? No, right? No. Is the Asian high a strong high? Obviously not.
No.
Liquidity. Then what's the next thing we focus on? Timing. 11:30 or 12:30, right? That's the time when we are interested in taking trades. And then, like I told you, from here, we wait for reaction. From here, what do? We sell it. Can you understand that? Same exact thing, okay? We sell it. But for this setup, yes, I think it was for this. This setup, I did not risk like I normally do. Why? Because this high looks like equal highs. Was a bit skeptical. Can you understand that? But had to take the risk because there was a daily point of interest in here. But I saw this and was a bit skeptical because almost equal highs. Okay, so yeah, stop loss goes above these rejection blocks. Okay, so not 3 pips once again, because with spreads you will have to always factor it. Okay, like this. And where do we target? We target the Asian low. Can you understand setup? Same exact setup. It's the same exact setup. Okay, so what happened? Wait. 11:30. Look at that. Right at 11:30 on the dot. Look at that. A manipulation of Asia into the daily zone of interest. So no trades from here because it did not give us any reaction from here. But from here, there we get the trade. Then what happens? Look how quick the move is when the time is right. Done. For 54 pips, how long did it take you? It's 1 hour, right? Yeah, just 1 hour. Then what do? Pay yourself, leave the rest. See that? Okay, so I did take the sell from the top. Okay, so because I told you I'm not good with confirmation entries. Okay, so like another student of mine, since like I told them what to do when there are 2 POIs, he waited for a confirmation entry. So I'll show you the confirmation entry as well. I did not take the confirmation entry. Okay, like I'm showing you the setup that he sent me. What is this? A stop hunt and a breakout structure. So this turns into what? A strong high.
Yeah.
How do we know the high has created the low of the range? We have to get a bullish breakout on the same time frame, right? So on the 50-minute, let's wait for a bullish breakout. Not yet. Not yet. There we get it. Can you see that? Bullish breakout.
Yeah.
What's our range from up here to down here? Why are they moving up? That is to take out the internal range liquidity.
Internal range.
So above the internal range liquidity on a lower time frame, strong low, what do we look for? Higher time frame point of interest, right? Let's go to the H1. What do we have on the H1? We have an order block and as well as a rejection block or as a resistance. Can you see it? So
Yeah.
this is what he's done. Okay, this is what he's done. We had two POIs once again. Okay, we had two POIs. And that is right above the internal range liquidity. Can you see that? That is right above the
Yeah.
internal range liquidity. Then this is what you could do. This is what he has done was actually sell it. Okay, selling it here. Stop loss 5 pips above both the POIs. Can you understand that? 5 pips above both the POIs. First target here. Okay, so what happens? There it goes. Can you understand that? This range right here, this little 50-minute range. Then what happens? There it comes. The confirmation entry. Can you see that? But I'm not that good with confirmation entries. I love this direct trade, so I got this or not this. So you saw this, right? Another direct order.
Yeah.
Again, a confirmation entry. So you had another entry there. Okay, so that's that. And then what do? You pay yourself, leave the rest here, like I told you. Now let's wait. Now once again, it's about waiting. Let's wait for the next day's Asian session. Okay, let's wait for Asia. What has Asia done? Asia has created a strong high.
Strong high.
Liquidity taken, structure broken. Where do we look into? I told you, 4-hour time frame. What do we have on the 4-hour time frame? It always happens. Order blocks, rejection blocks. Okay, and then we expect price to get here and then a sell-off, right? That is what we expect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we expect price to get here and then give us a sell-off. So once again, in here, this is what I did. Sold it here. I remember this was a bit too early, this entry. 5 pips stop loss above both the POIs. Can you understand that? Above both the POIs. So even if it taps into the top one, I'm still safe, right? I'm still safe. And where do I target? Since we're very close to the external range liquidity, we target that. Oh, this was a break even too. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at that. Taps. Done. Did you see it? Done. Okay, but like, trust me, I only took off 20% of the total volume that I used. 20% of the total volume that I used, and then this happened. Break even. Can't help it. That's why you should always pay yourself. Okay, but that's fine. That's fine. It'll always go up because it took out the 4-hour external range liquidity, so they have to go back up. But then, after it breaks out of the 4-hour range, where is your next target? The daily range that is all the way down here. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
The daily range that is. Now remember, this is not 95% of my account. Okay, this is not 91%. This is not 97%. No, because am I leaving full volume? No. Okay, so no. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so because who knows, right? Who knows if it's gonna really come here or not? For sure, we don't know. Okay, the only thing we know is our technical analysis. It says that the price is gonna get here. Okay, so look at the move then. Okay, so what happens? Right into the melting into the external range liquidity. That is how we could have played with the daily range. I told you, right? After this break, right? I told you, after this break right here, what is it? What is it? Asia sell, Asia sell, Asia sell. Asia creates a strong high, you sell. I told you this is the one that's going to happen, right, sir? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah.
Can you understand that? Okay, so yeah, that is how we could have played with the range. So was that clear about that range? I'll show you more, but yeah, for now, was that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you see this, right? We're not going to mark out ranges on the 15-minute and then play with that. No, ranges are used for direction. Okay, ranges are used for direction, not for entries. Okay, sometimes for confirmation entries, but mainly ranges are used for direction. So ranges must be marked out on a daily or else a 4-hour. Okay, daily, or if the daily isn't clear, it can be on a 4-hour. Okay, but remember, always base your trades on the higher time frames. Okay, higher time frames. So yeah, let's look at another one. Yeah, I'll show you another range. Then let's do a top-down analysis. Okay, first thing, to identify the major direction, what do we look for? Yeah, after this, okay, now we're talking, I showed you what happened here. Now let's look at another range. So after we identify, to identify the major direction, what do we look for? Major breakout structure, right? So what's the major breakout structure? This.
This.
So this can be the high of the next range, right?
Yeah.
But can you ignore the fact that this is a strong high as well? This is a
Yeah.
strong high as well. See that? Stop fund, breakout structure. So is the range from here or is from here? This is a strong high, right? Price can react to this too. So this will be the high of the range, not here. Okay. High of the range. I told you it always starts from a strong high. So how do we know the
Yeah.
high has created the low of the range? How do we know that? We have to get a bullish breakout
Bullish
on the
breakout
same
structure.
time frame. Yeah. So here we got the bullish breakout. See that? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, break. Now we have a range from up here to down here. So if this is the range, why is it moving up? That is to take out the internal range liquidity. Can you understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah. Now this is why ICT tells you not to marry the idea. Okay, because once you just stick to an idea and not be flexible, this is what happens. Okay, I'll show you what happens. I got a very nice entry, but I had something else in my mind, so I closed out everything. Okay, so now this day we had news. Okay, we had news coming. So what is it? Let's see. Let's check. This was Tuesday, 13th of September. Let's check. 13th of September. September 13th. What do we have? CPI, 6 p.m. Is it safe for us to trade London? No. Right?
No.
Not safe for us to trade London. Let's trade New York then. Okay, so New York opens at 4:30. That's the kill zone. Session is at 5:30. That's the New York session. Okay. At this time of the day is when we are trading. So now we know obviously London is not going to do the major move. And can you see what Asia is doing? Building up liquidity for news. See that? Patiently wait.
Yeah.
Okay, patiently wait. But just because London went above Asia, can we expect this to happen? No, news.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So patiently wait. Now what happened was, now this is what I had in my mind. You saw this, right? You saw what I marked this one out as the daily internal range liquidity. You remember that, right? Yeah. Now, above this London high that was created in here, on the 4-hour time frame, okay, on the 4-hour time frame, above this London high, what did we have? We had a resistance. Can you see that? We had a resistance.
Yeah.
Like we have this formation once again. Can you see that? Strong high, okay? London highs liquidity right below it. So we can expect price to tap here and then fall. So this was my thought process once again. I thought, okay, maybe it might tap into the 4-hour, fall back down, take out the Asian low, and then go back up for the daily internal range liquidity. That is what I had in my mind. Okay, so this is what I did. Now they're building up liquidity, London highs liquidity, because you saw this, right? There's news, so we can't trade it. So what I did was sold it here, okay, from the 4-hour order block, targeting the Asian low with a 5 pip stop loss. Okay, this is what I did. This was where I set my TP at, because I was very sure that this was going to get taken out, the daily internal range liquidity. Okay, my only target for news was this. Okay, so look what happened though. Okay, there we go. Time is perfect. Can you see what happened at that time of the day?
Yes.
Right at New York Open. See that? This is how you could play with time and price. Right at New York Open. Now look at this. Okay, so my TP was set here. My TP was set here, and then look at that. News. So my TP was set here. Instantly regretted it because I closed everything at 58 pips. Look at the move. A total of what? A total of 184 pips. I missed more than half of the move. Okay, closed out everything here. Because why? I didn't know the direction. So without knowing the direction, I can't leave runners, right? I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, so I closed out everything. And then now we have to be flexible. Okay, now this is when we have to be flexible because look at this. The major range we had was bearish. Counter trend also turned bearish. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Now, what is it? The range expansion, right? Now, are you going to say, oh, there's still some daily internal range liquidity here. Let me buy it until that gets taken out. No, you're only going to sell it. Okay, you are only going to sell it. Then, yeah, you can just backtest this price action and see. From here, we got a little pullback. From where? Once again, Look at this setup. What is this? Strong low, Asian lows liquidity, like this, and the support.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? Look at this. Can you see the buy? A buy. Okay, a buy, and then it's gonna fall off from this daily order block right here. That was created on us. I told you, right? When a lower time frame strong high is created, we go into the higher time frames to check our point of interest. I told that to you, right? Now, if you go to the daily,
Yeah.
we had an order block in here. Okay, we had an order block in here on the 4-hour strong high. So yeah, they tapped right into it. And then it started falling once again. So you can see you can sell here. Once again, this day we had Asia creating another rejection block. You can sell it here, all targeting where? The external range liquidity of the daily time frame. So what happened? Can you see what happened? That is how you could have
Yeah.
played with the range. Okay, that's how you could have played with the range. So was that clear? Was that clear about that range? Hope that was clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be flexible. Okay, you have to be flexible. And once again, if you do not know the targets, don't leave runners. There's no point of doing that. Okay, so but in here, of course, I regret it because you saw the move, right? Because I had my entry
Yeah.
from here. I could have held it all the way down
Big
here.
move.
A 300 pip move. I closed it out at 50 pips right here. Okay, so shit happens, man. Can't help it. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so are you clear about the ranges? Okay, I hope you're clear
Yeah.
about the ranges. Okay, now I'll tell you what to do on the higher time frames. Okay, so now it's like this. Okay, so every single new month, okay, every single new month, I'll show you examples on gold. Every single new month, you have to look into the monthly time frame. Okay, every single new week,
Okay.
you have to look in, yeah, like you can watch the session later and then take down some notes. Okay, so right now I'll tell you remember every single new month you have to look into the monthly time frame. I'll tell you why. Okay, because you don't have to look at the monthly every single day, right? Because it takes 30 days to make one of these. So what's the point of looking at it every single day? There's no point. Okay, so the monthly is like a 1 day time frame. You only have to look at it once a month. Okay, so on the monthly, this is what you're going to do. You're not going to mark out ranges or do any of that. Okay, on the monthly, what we're going to do is we're going to mark out the next point of interest. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So what do I mean by the next point of interest? Where will the next monthly candle open? In here, right? This where the
Yeah.
when it opens here, what's the next point of interest? Order block. Can you understand that? Or else a rejection block. Remember, monthly closing prices are strong as fuck. That's what I can tell you. They're very strong. Okay, they are very strong. These could be used again and again for intraday plays. Okay, just backtest that and see, then you will understand. Okay, so these levels are very strong, very strong. So make sure to always pay attention to these monthly levels. Okay, so now like I'm not going to jump from monthly to the 4-hour directly. Okay, I'm only showing you what we do on the monthly time frame. Okay, so now let's see what price is going to do. Okay. Now, what did I tell you? What is this? This is a strong high, right? This is a strong high. Why? Liquidity
Yeah.
taken, structure broken.
Mm.
So within a lower time frame strong high, what did I tell you? We have to look for the higher time frame point of interest, right? So within this 4-hour strong high, what's the point of interest you have here? A monthly order block.
Monthly order.
Okay, a monthly order block. How do we know the high has created the low of the range? We have to get a bullish breakout. So here we get the breakout on the same time frame. We have a range now from here to here. Okay, so now let's wait. Now, once again, if you backtest this price action, you will see that they created an Asian high right below the monthly point of interest. What are they doing? Feeding liquidity, right? Feeding liquidity into the monthly zone. So yeah, what we're going to do is sell it here. Okay, we're going to sell it here like this. And then now it's gold. Okay, I can't have 2 to 5 pip stop losses on gold. You'll have to have at least like 15 to 20 stop losses minimum. Okay, so for me, maximum will be 20 pips. And then where do we target? Since it's a monthly zone, it's coming from a monthly zone, we target the external range itself because the push is going to last long, right? It's coming from a monthly zone. Now, once again, do you think anyone will have an idea what this is? No. Then they'll tell you, he used the 50% of the imbalance. I'm sorry, 50% of this week. Are we using that though? No, right? It's a monthly level. Okay, a very strong level. So look at the reaction. Look at that. Tapped and melted. Can you see that? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? A monthly level. Okay, so the reason I told you to look for the monthly is that because look at this. Where did the high of that month get created? Right at the order block. Can you see that? Right at the order block. Okay, so It's a monthly candle, right? For 30 days, you will be in profits. That's the thing. It's a swing. Okay, so look at this. 1,200, yeah, 1,200 pips. Okay, so just think of it. Even if you use the 0.01, you'll have $120 from that trade. Okay, so what more do we need, right? So that's that. Now, same thing. You have to do that every single new month. Okay, remember, you have to do it every new month. Now, the next month, where will the next monthly candle open? In here, right? What's your next point of
Yeah.
interest? Now you have an imbalance. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Now, like, can I just refine this imbalance into this rejection block? No, right? That is this is a monthly time frame. So this is too far away. Look at that. 240 pips away. Can I do 240 pip refinements? No, no way.
No.
Okay, maybe into lower time frames you can. But yeah, like I did refine it into some, I think into this rejection block in here. See that? Not huge refinement, just a little slight refinement into that rejection block that was in here. So yeah, look at, but couldn't hold it though, because look at this. Look at the reaction. Look at the reaction. Took a nice sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Moved it to break even after this breakout structure. It didn't even take profits because I know that price is going to get here. Then this happened the next day. Stopped me out at break even and fell from the same point. See that? But the point is, where did the high of that month get created? Right at the imbalance. Can you see that? Okay, so you're swinging, you're doing intraday trades, you're doing all of it. Okay, so that's why I'm teaching you this. Okay, so you can do anything with this. So look at this. This is like one of the cleanest entries I had. Where will the next monthly candle open? In here, right? What is your next point of interest? Rejection block now. Open close levels. Can you see that?
Yeah.
My entry was even better because I refined this monthly level into a 4-hour order block. Can you see this? Monthly level refined to a 4-hour SBR or an order block. See that?
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. So like that. And like, because why are we doing that? Because on a daily, I told you on the daily, we can mark out we can mark out ranges, right? We can mark out ranges. So look at this. What is the major breakout structure we have? Bearish. So what is the high of the range we have from here? Why? Stop fund. Breakout structure.
Breakup structure.
How do we know the high has created the low of the range? Breakout structure on the same time frame. Low of the range. So within a lower time frame trading range, what did I tell you? We have to look for the higher time frame point of interest. So your daily POI, I'm sorry, daily range is from here to here. We had a monthly POI in here. Can you understand that? Okay, so look where the current sell is coming from. Okay, the major sell, look where it's coming from. Look at the entry, okay? Look at that. Can you see it? Taps and
Sniper
melted.
entry.
Okay, yeah. Now I told you, since this is a daily range, for you to see the counter trend breaking, what can you do? You can look for one time frame lower, right? Now look at this. The 4-hour tapped into a monthly zone, instantly broke structure.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? From this breakout structure onwards, are you going to look for buys? No more buys.
No.
Sell. Because range expansion, right? So if you take a sell here, where is your final target? External range liquidity. Can you understand that? Okay, so how many pips is that? Look at this. 1,260 pips. Is that enough? Okay, so more than enough, right? That is more than enough. Once again, like I told you, if you use the 0.01, you have $120. Okay, so
all for the month.
yeah, like anyway, you're not going to use a 0.01, right? You're going to use a high left side. So yeah, this is possible. Like you see this, right? I'm showing you the same thing again and again. Okay, so I can't make these things up, right? So just back test and study. Okay, so last week I had a nice entry on gold. I was so lucky to close it out properly. Look at this range. Strong high. Can you see that? Stop fund, breakout structure, high of the range, low of the range, bullish breakout. Okay. Why are they going up? To take out the internal range liquidity. Above the internal range liquidity, what did we have? Resistance. Look at the entry. Take a sell here. Where do you target? External range liquidity. That is here. Can you see what happened? Right into the targets. Right into the targets. Okay, so that is how we can play with the ranges and all that stuff. Now, for some reason, it is going up. Okay, so it is going up like this from here. So I'm expecting price to get into these areas, at least into a weekly resistance once again. Can you see that? Yeah, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see until price gets here. Let's wait for the reaction. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so can you understand this stuff so far? We
Yeah.
did not do the top-down analysis yet. Okay, so yeah, now I'll tell you how to do the top-down analysis. Okay, because I showed you all the stuff that needs to be seen. Now let's look for the top-down analysis and end this. Okay, so your questions are cleared, right? Most of them. All of them, I
Most
think.
of the clear.
Okay.
Last is top-down
Yeah,
analysis.
let's do the top-down analysis. Okay, so I don't know how I started the previous one because I'm pretty sure the sessions that were leaked, that was like 1 year ago, I guess, right? More than 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. These ranges we already went through. Let's look at some old one. Yeah, look at this. Let's look at this one itself. Okay, so now it's like this. Remember, now you know what to do on the monthly time frame, right? You have to do that only once a month. Only once a month. Okay,
Yeah.
you know what to do on the month. Now the weekly time frame is very important. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, what we do is first thing what we do is we look for the most recent major breakout structure. Okay, on the weekly time frame, we look for the most recent major breakout structure, and that has to be done on a line chart. Okay, remember that very well. That has to be done on a line chart. The most recent breakout structure that has to be checked on a line chart. So what do we have? Bearish, right? Right. So does it make any
Yeah.
sense for you to buy it here? No, right? Look at these. All the
No.
toes are getting broken. Okay, so yeah, that is what that's the first thing we check on the weekly. And the next thing we do is we look for the next point of interest like we did on the monthly time frame. So where will the next month weekly candle open? From here, right? What's your next
Yeah.
point of interest? We have the rejection block, the open close level. Can you see that? Okay, we have that.
Yeah.
Now remember, you might not have this all the time, so don't try to force it. Okay, don't try to force it. If it's not there, it's not there. That's it. Okay, just jump one time frame lower once again. Okay, so there we go. Now you know what to do on the monthly and on the weekly. Okay, then what we do is we go to the daily. On the daily is where we start marking out the ranges. Okay, remember that very well. On the daily is where we start marking out the ranges, and those ranges must be based on the weekly breakout structure, because if the weekly shows us a bearish breakout structure, we're going to mark out a daily bearish range. Can you understand that? Okay. If the
Yeah.
weekly shows us a bullish breakout structure, we're going to mark out a bullish range on the daily. Can you understand that? Okay. So that is how we
Yeah.
can do that. So now what do we have? We have a bearish breakout structure on the daily. I'm sorry, weekly. Now we can mark out the daily ranges. So let's see. We had a range in here. See that? Stop fund. And a
Where
minor break in
structure?
here. I think, yeah, I don't know. Minor breakout structure and a major breakout structure in here. So this is the high of the range. This is the low of the range. How was this low confirmed after this bullish breakout? Can you see that? After this bullish
Yeah.
breakout. Now, this high is acting as the breakout structure point to confirm the range and as well as the internal range liquidity, because it's only one swing high. Okay. So price
Yeah.
went up, took that out. And yeah, like once again, it's the same thing. Above this, you can look for a higher time frame point of interest, because on the weekly, we had another rejection block. See that? Okay, so same exact thing. So if you take a sell here, where's the final target? Here. See that? Right here.
Yeah.
So now what do we do? Once you get a break below this low, you know that a new range is created, right? A new range is created from up here. Can you understand that? From up here. How do we know the high has created the low of the range? You have to get a bullish breakout, right? Do we have that on the daily? No. See that? It's not there on the daily. Then what are you going to do? Are you going to panic? Or are you going to wait for the bullish breakout structure? Who knows how long it's going to take, right? Don't panic.
Yeah.
Drop one time frame lower. Go to the 4 hour. Okay, so let's see what the 4 hour is doing. Let me make this line straight. Okay. Yeah, I need it to be tidy, neat and tidy. Okay, so there we go. On the 4 hour time frame, we do have a range. What is that? This is a strong high, right? Liquidity taken,
Yeah.
minor structure broken, and as well as major structure broken in here. So there we go, high of the range. How do we know the high has created the low of the range? We have to get a bullish breakout on the same time frame, right? So here we
Yeah.
get a bullish breakout all the way down here. Can you see that? Use a line chart, you'll see it very clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, or else a swing high that created a low below has been broken. So now we have the range from here to here. Okay, now this is the reason why I told you to focus on the high time frame POI, because now let's say you are someone tells you, okay, you're an intraday trader, so you don't have to look at the daily or the weekly or the monthly. Like people tell that, right? People tell that.
Yeah.
Then you think, okay, you don't have to look at that. So you might think, okay, high of the range, low of the range, internal range liquidity, point of interest. See, that is what people would think, right? Now everyone will be
Yeah.
waiting until it gets here and then it drops. But what did I tell you? Within a lower time frame range, look for a higher time frame point of interest. Go to the weekly. Within the 4-hour range that was from here to here, what do we have? A weekly rejection block. Can you understand
Yeah.
that? Okay, so high time frame zones are very important. Okay, so we can mark it out like that. And yeah, you can even do refinements of this. Oh yeah, I think I uploaded a breakdown of this on my Instagram channel of this trade. I'll show you. Yeah, you can just check that out later. So yeah, you can refine this into maybe this rejection block like this. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit and wait until it gets here? No.
No.
Now you know that the 4-hour has confirmed bullishness, right? So now what you
Yeah.
can do is you can use Asia and all that stuff to buy it until it reaches the weekly zone. Can you understand that? Okay, so I'm not going to show you
Yeah.
that. You can backtest that and see, because until price gets from here to here, okay, until price gets from here to here, these are the setups you're getting. Asia buy, Asia buy. Then what you get is Asia sell, Asia sell, Asia sell until it gets here. This is what you're getting. Okay, just backtest that and see, backtest this price action for sure. You will see what's happening here. And also on the daily, another thing to do is you have to look for the next point of interest, like we do on the weekly or the monthly. Okay, so the 4-hour has confirmed bullishness, right? So now you can look
Yeah.
for the daily point of interest. What do we have? We have an order block and a rejection block as well. Okay, so you can
Yeah.
see the reactions from these levels later. Now I'll show you the trade that I was going to show you, the sell from here. Okay, so from here onwards, you know what to do, right? Mark out Asia, wait for timing, you buy it. Because why? 4-hour has confirmed the bullishness. Okay, so let's wait. Let's wait and see what's happening. Okay. Yeah, just check out this price action. Okay, backtest this price action for sure. You will see what's happening in here. Okay, so let's wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, see this liquidity taken out. I think it was a 4-hour, yeah, rejection block. See that? Liquidity taken out into a 4-hour zone. Look at that. Taps starting to go higher. Patiently wait. Now we are reaching our zone of interest that was on the weekly. And yeah, look at this. Asian high, a high that was created at 7:30 a.m. See that? Obviously Asia. London open,
Yeah.
12:30. Okay. Asia taken out into London into a weekly zone of interest. And then we wait for the confirmation. Why do we wait for the confirmation on the 4-hour, on the 1 hour? It's a 4-hour range, right? So we can wait for the 1
Yeah.
hour. Okay, so what happened? There comes the 1 hour break. Stop font and a breakout structure. Now what do we know? 4-hour bearish, 1 hour bearish. What is that? Range expansion. Are you going to buy it anymore? No, sell.
No.
Until it comes into the external range liquidity. Now we get the confirmation on the 1 hour time frame. Go to a lower time frame to get our entries. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, by now you should already see the entries because you know what we do. How do we know the high of the range has confirmed the low of the range? We have to get a bullish breakout, right? So let's wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we get the bullish breakout. Okay, there we get the bullish breakout, high of the range, low of the range. So now can you show me the setup already? Why is price moving up? That is to take out the internal range liquidity.
Internal range.
So what's your internal range liquidity? Swing high, swing high. Mark that out. Can you understand that? Two swing highs.
Yeah.
So above that, what do you look for? High time frame point of interest. What do you have? H1 resistance. Or else use a line chart. You're getting this setup.
Yeah.
You know what happens when this setup forms. Okay, it will melt. It will. Okay, for sure it will. Now let's wait for the right time. Okay, so let's wait for the right time. Now, can you see this is too late in the day, right? 11:45 p.m.
Yeah.
Are we going to trade at that time of the day?
No.
Obviously not. Okay, because in a little time Asia opens, so we'll have to wait. So let's wait. Let's mark out Asia now. Now these days, yeah, this was on November. So yeah, November 21st. So Asia started at 3:30 a.m. and ended at 10:30 a.m. our time. So it should be from 5 p.m. to New York midnight time, like I told you. Yeah, see that? 5 p.m. to New York midnight time, Asia. Okay, so let's mark out Asia. Let's wait for Asia to end. Okay. Yeah, luckily Asia did not go into that point of interest, or else we would have missed the sniper entry because we're not going to trade Asia. Now, at what time of the day are we going to say the Asian high is a strong high and look for sells in here? No, look at this. liquidity, a pool of liquidity. So then at what time of the day are we looking for sells? Now this was November. So right now, London kill zone is at 12:30. London session is at 1:30. Okay. So at this time of the day is when we are looking for sells. Above Asia, we can sell it. Okay, somewhere around here. Stop loss can go where? Above the strong high. Where can we target? First target will be external range liquidity. Now let's wait. Okay, time is perfect. Can you see that? A manipulation of
Yeah.
Asia, everything is good. Now see, this was like 1 year ago, but you see, it's the same concept. Same concept 1 year ago. But no, like I did take a loss in here trying to do shit on the 1 minute time frame because those days, okay, those days. So yeah, I did take a loss in here, but you see this setup, right? There we go. In between that time of the day. So what is this? This is the Judah swing, right? The falls run in the opposite direction. I told you, order blocks are forming, these demand zones are forming, bullish trend lines are forming. How many are buying it? Pretty much everyone, right? Everyone. But what are we doing? We're selling it. Okay, we're selling it. What happens? There comes the momentum. Boom, melting. Can you see what happens when the time is right? There it comes.
Yeah.
Pay yourself down here. Leave the rest into the 4-hour external range liquidity. Can you understand that? What happens? There it comes. Now, once again, backtest this price action, you will see Asia sell, Asia sell. Until it comes into the external range liquidity, like I showed you in that previous daily range, in that current price action. See, you can see what's happening. See, Asia, look at this. This is an Asian high created at 6:30
Yeah.
a.m. Look at the manipulation of Asia, 12:30. See that? 12:30. Okay. Look at this one. Asia, this day we had news, I think. Look at the manipulation. Look at the time of the manipulation of Asia, 5:30, New York Open. I told that to you, right? Same exact thing.
Yeah.
Okay, same exact thing. So take a sell here, target the external range. Can you understand that? This is how you could play with the ranges. Okay, this is how you could play with the ranges. So let's look at current price action. Now I told you, what do we do on the weekly time frame? Okay, what do we do on the weekly time frame? I told you to look for the most recent breakout structure, right? On the weekly time frame. And
Yeah.
where I told you should do that on where? Line chart. What is the recent breakout structure we have? Bullish breakouts. Can you see that? They have broken out of
Yeah.
it. So what are you going to mark? A bearish range or is a bullish range? You're going to mark out a bullish range. I told that to you, right? Now go to the
Yeah.
daily or the 4-hour. Mark out a bullish range. Where will a bullish range start from? A strong low. Now we can't see any strong lows on the daily. If there's nothing clear on the daily, what should you do? You go to the 4-hour. See that? On the 4-hour, there we have the strong low, high of the range, bullish breakout even on the weekly. So now we know that if it comes down, it is only coming down to give you a pullback. So now it is moving up once again. So now can you understand what we do? I showed you what we do on the
Yeah.
monthly. I told you what to do on the weekly. I told you what to do on the daily. I told you what to do on the 4-hour. Then I told you how to play with Asia and the lower time frames. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you understand everything? Let me know. Was everything clear? Yeah.
Yeah.
So just check your question book to see if your questions are cleared. I'm pretty sure all of them are cleared by now.
All of them clear.
Everything is cleared, right? So yeah, if
Yeah.
you have any other further questions, just drop me a message on Telegram with the chart and a voice note. Okay, with a voice note. Okay, so
Okay.
that
Okay.
way I know what your question is. I hate reading stuff. Okay, so just send me a voice note. I'll listen to it. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
was everything clear? Let me know. Do you have any other doubts? Like, should I go through anything else? Yeah,
No.
no,
All doubts have been cleared.
everything is clear, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
and I'll send the recording to you once the conversion is over. It might take more than one hour because I think yeah, it should be 3 hours and around 30 minutes long this session. Okay, so I'll send it to you at around 1 a.m. Okay, because the conversion will take a lot of time. Okay, so I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
Okay, so everything was clear, right? Once again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. So yeah, if you have any other questions, just drop me a message on Telegram. Okay, and
Okay.
also just please make sure you keep this recording safe. Okay, because you see this stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No one teaches this stuff. Like if you have been through the SMC courses, you know how valuable this is. Okay, so
I've been through 20 courses of SNC.
so that's the thing. Like, did you see anyone teaching these concepts? No one. No
No,
one.
this is
No one knows
different.
what time and price is. No one knows how to
Yeah.
combine like support and resistance with liquidity. Like you saw how powerful that is, right? like a
Yeah.
completely different approach to smart money. Okay, so keep the
That's why I
recordings
took
there.
the course.
Yeah, like, it's worth it, right?
Even the league videos.
Yeah, like the leaked ones, just completely forget them. Okay, just stick to the new model.
Yeah.
Because in the leaked ones, you saw how we used the lower time frames, and that was really messy. Okay, so I know it's not that easy. Okay, so just stick to these, stick to these. Okay, like not a huge difference from what we did, because we use ranges, we use Asia and timing
Yeah.
and all that. Even in those we use that, but this is way more
POI is different.
different. Okay, different and accurate. Okay, very accurate. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it from me, bro. So if you have any other questions, just drop me a message on Telegram, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, bro. Bye bye. Good night then.
Good night.
Okay, bye bye.